Yeah. Y'all already know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. The Fat Boy Finesse is live again. I got something in my heart, Shimon. I got something in my heart. Hey yo, my bad. Yeah, that was on me. That was on me. That was on me. That was on me. BD, what's good with you? Mo, what's good with you? Joel, what's popping with you? Yeah, that's my fault, y'all. That's my fault. It's been a minute. We got to get back in the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, but y'all know what I'm saying. What first stream of the year? First stream of 2026? Yeah, because last Monday technically would have been the first stream. So yeah, first stream of 2026, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so y'all know what it is. Mondays is still my day. I still own Mondays. Respect to everybody. I still own Mondays. It is still my day. So it's good to see everybody in the building, man. Good to see everybody in the building. And definitely have some conversation tonight, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that Fat Boy Finesse is live again, you know what I'm saying? Simone, I appreciate you. Yeah, we back in the building. Big and Chris, appreciate you. Y'all already know what time it is. As you're coming in the room, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what your center of the day is. Let me know where you're watching from. And talk to your neighbor. Speak to your neighbor. Talk to somebody that you haven't talked to in a good while. Probably something maybe you haven't talked to all day. Somebody you probably haven't talked to all day long. Bo, I can't call it, man. I can't call it, man. Man. The computer want to act crazy. I switched scenes and the joints went wild. I got on my blue light glasses tonight. I got a headache. My eyes hurt. So that is the reason for that. And yeah. Now this feels different because I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Even everything in my ear sounds different. Everything sounds different. I sound different. The volume sounds different. I can normally look at my levels and tell what I have going on. But yeah, this is weird. But Kev, what's good with you? What's popping with you? What's popping with you? Yeah. All right. At this point, y'all let me know if drop a 1 if you can hear me, drop a 2 if you can see me, drop a 1 if you can hear me, drop a 2 if you can see me. I ain't done that in a while, but let's get back to the old days. Drop a 1 if you can hear me, drop a 2 if you can see me. Drop a 1 if you can hear me, and drop a 2 if you can see me. Based on what I'm looking, I think I'm good now. I think I'm good volume wise. I think background music is cool at this point. All right. Baby girl, Lachey, what's good with you? Appreciate you coming through. All right. We got 1s. We got 2s. We got 1s. We got 2s. Hey, bro. Gotta get back in the groove. And I look super dark. I look dark for some reason. These glasses are playing with me, so I'm gonna eventually take them off. But what's good with y'all, man? Happy New Year. For those of you that I have not talked to, Happy New Year. Monday is still our day. Monday is still our day. Monday is still our day. So happy New Year to everybody. I hope you guys are feeling good. I see all the Center of the Days in the building. You know what I'm saying? Clive Christian, watching from Miami. Slick Auto Styling. I feel like this is one of my first times seeing you in the chat. So you may have been here before, but I appreciate you. Welcome. Got on that Alta Air with that yams body butter. Ooh, okay. Can I get to the yams? Okay, Center of the Day, Electimus Imperium. Yo, Kev, how you like that joint? Because I love that Imperium. I love that Imperium. I love it. I love that Imperium. I don't know why I look like this. I don't know. Maybe it's because honestly, y'all, I haven't been at my computer since. Well, no, I put up a video like the first of the year. I put up a video the first of the year. But this feels foreign to me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Matter of fact, my eyes just gonna have to hurt. I can't do it. My eyes just gonna have to hurt. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't fool with it. That's getting on my nerves or whatever. Oh man, but I hope you all had a good day, man. I hope you had a good day. I hope you had a good weekend. How was your weekend? Y'all catch me up. Catch me up to speed. You know what I'm saying? Get me up to date. Holla at your boy. For those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, welcome to the bridge, man. This is where we make connections that make sense. We make it all make sense. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended. And so, yeah, I hope that you all are well. That's my biggest thing. I hope that you guys are well. All right. Fragrance of the day, Soprano Ice by Dumont. That's what I'm talking about. Heaven Ice. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. Hey, I appreciate that, Joel. I appreciate that. I'm new to the lives, brother. Thanks for the welcome. Watch your videos a few minutes. Appreciate that. Cool. Nah, I'ma sing that. I'ma sing that. I'm gonna sing that. I'm gonna sing that. Look a little lighter to me. Hey, honestly, I don't know, bro. It could be my monitor or whatever. I don't know. I got a lot going on. But we got ones. I see ones and twos. Salute to everybody. Raleigh be giving us various with it, bruh. We went from, and I don't know if you all experienced this. If you can see on the screen, you should be able to see the weather right there. It's 40 degrees. It's cold for North Carolina standards, but the weather has been so crazy. I forgot it was winter. I personally forgot that it was winter. We had some beautiful weather, over the weekend. Center of the Day, Vanilla Aura. Yo, how you like that joint? Fire. How you like that joint, Old Dirty? I'm gonna just call you ODB. Bought too much lately. Ormangene Cashmere. I have tried that. That is fire. Suspiro Deep Ocean. I have not seen that one yet. Amber and Blue. Okay. Yeah, you've been spending money. Y'all can't. I ain't spent no money. Bro. When I told y'all I won't spending a lot of money, I'm not spending no money. Yeah, but let me do this. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all can let everybody know I am live tonight. So VA is bipolar this weekend. Felt like spring. Yeah, it's crazy. And if it's cold here, I know it's cold in VA. Honestly, bro, that's where it's at. JC, that's where it's at, bro. That's how it starts and that's how it finishes. With the oil. We live tonight. So one of my favorite Psalms, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. For it is like the oil from Aaron's beard. Yo, like oils is the start and it's the finish. But hey, I'm gonna hit this disclaimer. I got a couple of things I got to update as well. So you probably won't see the updates until February, but still same thing, same rules apply. I'm hit the disclaimer and then let's go ahead and get into tonight's show. The views and the opinions expressed in this program are those of my own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities I represent or collaborate with. I love fragrance. There will be no clone slander, designer slander, or niche slander. Like what you like, love what you love. Most importantly, don't take my word for it. Get your own nose on. They gonna trip when they hear this. This guy. Nah, it ain't Jada. It's Fat Boy, but you can call me Walt. Walt J. Hey, let's cut up for a little bit. Here we go. That boy crazy. Call me Mr. Elixir. My nose is something sinister. I'm stone cold like a tombstone. I'm a finisher. Finisher, finisher. A fragrance that a finisher. Preaching about these oils like they holy. I'm a minister. Trying to set the record straight. Curve is the real king. Still got love for Grease. Savage made them girls scream. Can't forget that 1 million got me feeling real lucky. Call me Fat Boy, but don't test me. It can get ugly. I'm trying to find a new cologne. I don't really know where to go. That boy out here singing, boy. Crazy work. Hey, get him again, Fat Boy. I'm a real fragrance reviewer from niche to designers. You can never clone Fat Boy. I know that's right. I'm rocking with the Czar and my homegirls, the oil lady. Paris, Milan, a little tougher than my other ladies. Renaissance man, though I never been to Harlem. Love a New York night like a crook, love a bond man. Bailing out the game, but don't call me a savior. Casting out these phonies, call me a demon slayer. In the words of my brother Dedra Hicks, positive vibe. Like a crook, love a bond man. Call me Mr. Elixir. My nose is something sinister. I'm stone cold like a tombstone. I'm a finisher. Finisher, finisher. A fragrance that a finisher. Preaching about these oils like I'm old. Preaching about these oils like I'm preaching about these oils like they holy. I'm a minister. Trying to set the record straight. Curve is the real king. Savage make them girls scream. I got this music in the back of my ear, so I can't remember the lyrics right now. Yeah, whatever. I thought about redoing that. I'm going to have a 2026 version. I actually have another version. I have another version of Fat Boy Friday. I have another version of this that I did, or let me say alternate version. Y'all might see, it might see the light of day one day. I don't know, we'll see. It might see the light of day one day. But we definitely are going to update some things as we go through Q1 of 2026. But those of you who are first coming in, man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Welcome to the bridge. We used to be the attic, you know what I'm saying? But this is the bridge, man. I am, as Joel said, your favorite panda in the community. I'm your favorite Fat Boy. I am your favorite cousin. I am your fragrance cousin. I am your fragrance big brother. By some standards on social media, I technically would be considered an unk. You know what I'm saying? But I just consider myself fragrance cousin, your favorite fragrance big brother. I got some unks, I got some OGs, I got some elders, and then I got some little bros, you know, some nephews, some not because we out here lording over people. Don't get that twisted. So nobody take that the wrong way. But you get in where you fit in, you know what I'm saying? And I just recognize that's my position in the community for those of you who may be coming by for the first time and are wondering what the heck do we have going on here. And so I still own Mondays. Don't get it twisted. No, you can't have it. You cannot have 7 p.m. Eastern time Monday. No, you can't have it. It's still my day. Let's just set that record straight. Nah, go live. Do what you do. You know, we support everybody in the community, replay gangs, all of that. But yeah, man, every single Monday, unless I say otherwise, you know what I'm saying, you will see me here in these YouTube streets on the bridge. I simply want to make connections. I'm making connections with you. We're making connections together. We're parlaying. I'm kicking it, having a good time. And as it relates to the industry and the community, I feel like part of my role in this space is to bring those two things together. I am like a concierge service. I am a liaison. We're going to connect the dots to make it all make sense. It needs to make sense, and it needs to make sense, and it needs to make sense. All right. I'm big on wordplay. I love wordplay. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to make sense. Number one. Number two, it's got to make sense. And then number three, it's got to make sense. You follow what I'm saying? Because it's got to make sense up here. You know what I'm saying? It's got to make sense right here. And then as far as the attribute of smelling, you get that? Okay. All right. Nah, yeah. Everybody gets an A. Everybody gets an A. Everybody gets an A. But yeah, so again, if this is your first time here, I appreciate you guys coming through. We took Monday off. I took Monday off, and I'm gonna get back to the chat in a second. I took Monday off. Mainly I had like this norovirus situation, bro. Like it was coming out the top and the bottom for like 2 days. It was bad. It was bad. Like it was bad. It was bad. Like it was bad. It was bad. At one point I was like, God, please, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Like, and I'm not trying to be blasphemous. I'm serious. I was like, I ain't got nothing else. Where is this coming? Like, there's nothing else left for me to give. You know, like how Donna McClurkin said, after you've done all you can, you just stand. Like, what do you do when you've given everything and your body is still like, no, there's something else? No, it's not. No, there's literally nothing. Like, I'm convulsing at this point. Like, so yeah. But I appreciate everybody that reached out, man. You know what I'm saying? And so we back in full effect. Y'all wear your mask. I don't care about your political preference, agenda, whatever. Wearing a mask has nothing to do with vaccines. It has nothing to do with what political party, who you voted for, what. Wear a mask. Protect yourself and protect other people around you. Because some of y'all nasty. Some of y'all don't wash your hands when you go to the bathroom. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. I'm not going to start the year off like that. But wear a mask. I would say don't even dap people up. You know, hey, what's good, bro? I see, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy out here. It feels like there are more people sick now than there were during COVID. And maybe that's just because we were living in it. Like, it wasn't this many people sick the last several years. There's some new stuff going on. Like, it's some new stuff that's been happening or whatever. So it's been crazy. Yo, speaking of which, you know what I'm saying? It just made me think, shout out to my grandmother. Y'all do me a favor, man. Y'all say happy birthday, grandmama. It was actually last weekend. This past Sunday, we celebrated 90 years. So that's another reason I've been chilling with family, you know what I'm saying? With loved ones, with friends, man, just taking a break. A lot of people, we're gonna get in the fragrance, but y'all know how we do. And you ain't seen me in a while, so you'll be okay. And while you coming in, hit that like button. I got 49 people watching. We should be at least 30 likes. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to hit the like button. I want you to hit the like button because it lets everybody know that Fat Boy is live again. So that's your way of telling a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that Fat Boy Finesse is live again. But 90th birthday, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my girl. Y'all hear me quote her all the time. Start out like you can hold out, okay? So a lot of you have made New Year's resolutions, and I don't know if you subscribe to the Gregorian calendar, any of that. Let me help you with something. So you don't put pressure on yourself and you don't feel like a failure. Let me help you in a way that helped me crush my goals in 2025 and what's going to help you crush your goals in 2026. And why I didn't sneeze at doing nothing this last week. I didn't record anything. I smelt a whole bunch of stuff. I went shopping. I didn't buy anything. I sampled a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't do anything as it relates to content though. I have a lot of videos. I have like 50 videos in my phone. I could have scaled. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. The reason I don't care about any of that, because help me make this make sense. Why do you drive yourself crazy to set a New Year's resolution in the wintertime? Now, help me, somebody help me make that make sense in the chat. That's what we doing, right? We making it make sense. What is the first day of winter? What's the first day of winter? What was the first day of winter? The first day of winter was December the 21st, 2025, towards the end of the year. What happens in winter? Everything dies. The earth goes through this cycle of rejuvenating itself, recycling. The earth goes through this process of reconciliation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, it was a hot girl summer. We had a lot of craziness in the spring. We had a lot of craziness in the summertime. You see the fall start to go through this transition. Leaves start to falling. Things start to slow down. Now we go into this hibernation period. January is not the start of a new year. That's not me being a conspiracy theorist. That's not me being hyper spiritual. That's me helping you from a mental standpoint. Because what happens is you're trying to set a goal at a period where you actually should still be in the winding down process. This is why we call it spring cleaning. Like, how do you start anything new in the dead of something? So you actually fight against, you know what I'm saying? So what you're supposed to do, and this is what I do. If anything, you go hard the last quarter of the year, of the outgoing year. So by the time you get into the new year, you can decompress. I'm like a bear. I'm a panda. Ain't no bears out roaming, bro. They sleep. They are hibernating. They are supposed to. Animals have this right. We have this wrong, which is why by the time some of y'all get to February or why some of y'all get to March, you have failed. And not because you are a failure. You've given up. You've quit. It's part of your circadian rhythm, all of that. It doesn't even make sense. Your brain is sitting here. You're literally forcing your brain and your body to fight against something that's not natural. So you stressing, trying to meet a goal that you shouldn't even really be trying to meet right now. So this is kind of my lax period because we went hard. We went hard, you know, minus the break that I took for health reasons. Like we went hard, bro. We worked super hard. But what did y'all start to see happen? As fall comes in, we start to wind down. And now we get to winter, we wind down. By the time I get to March, you're going to see this thing rev up. Right now, I'm chilling. Right now, honestly, all y'all get is Monday and Friday. If I give you anything else other than that, to God be the glory. It's extra. It's bonus content. But if you want to preserve yourself and you want to maximize, you start out like you can hold out. So it's like somebody watching. Speaking of which, have you watched 61st Street? The limited Netflix series with Courtney B. Vance. Think about you running the 400. You don't start out in a full dead sprint. You're not gonna finish. If you're a marathon runner, you can't start out in a full sprint. So it amazes me people that always try to go super. Like 90% of people who go dumb hard in January, they barely make it to February. Like they don't crush any of their goals because it does not make sense. So again, take what I say with a grain of salt. That is purely subjective. I'm saying for me, as it relates to this content space and as it relates to every other goal that I was able to crush, chill out, breathe, this is the time, get your breathing right. It's actually probably better for you if you're a workout junkie. A lot of people be like, oh, I'm a workout hard in the summertime. Nah, pace yourself in the wintertime. And this is coming from Fat Boy Fitness. No, like real talk. Even I went walking this morning. It was like 35 degrees outside. I felt amazing. I ran I walked the first part. I ran the second part. I felt good. I think sometimes y'all like I'm an athlete. Like just because I'm fat don't mean nothing. I'm faster than you think I am. I promise you. I promise you. It runs in my blood. So breathing was incredible because I've prioritized this time on learning how to breathe, learning how to pace myself, learning how to relax. So by the time we get into the second leg of this 400, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm conserved. I have conserved my energy. So now I'm passing you. So by the time we get to the end of the year and you burnt out, I'm like, hey, I'm good. I'm gonna relax in January. I'm gonna go to sleep in January. Like after Christmas, I'm shutting down. I'm chilling. I'm hibernating. We chilling with the fam. All right. That's my sermon for today. I just wanted to give y'all that. I'm gonna get back to the chat, but I wanted to say that because that was on my mind, because everybody always starts off strong. And then by the time you get to the end of the year, it's like, oh my God, I'm so ready for the year to be over. It just started. It just started. So I say that even from a content standpoint, like I say, this Q1, and I got a lot going on behind the scenes. I'm doing a lot of work I can't really talk about. I will talk about it at some point, but we chilling. Ain't nobody got time about all that stuff. Ain't nobody got time for all this crazy stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So let me get to the chat real quick, and I'm gonna talk about my sin of the day. TT knees too bad to be running in this weather. What you mean? What you mean? That's why y'all too young for your knees. And I say that about myself. You too young for your knees to be hurting, yo. You too young for your knees to be hurting. I'm too young for my knees to be hurting. I'm way too young for my knees to be hurting. Run, Forrest, run, run. That's real talk. JC, that's real talk. That's real talk. That's real talk. Help me to hold out until my change come. Listen, absolutely. Absolutely. New Year's resolution for me, don't it? Yeah, like I don't know. This whole new year, new me. No, you've been the same you. It's like, Joel, people do things to hype themselves up. No, all you got to do is do. Every day is a new day. You know how many people have died in the first 12 days of the year? Millions didn't make it. We love to say that on New Year's Eve, traditionally, like watch night service for those of you that go to church or whatever. And we love to say that, millions didn't make it, but I'm one of the ones who did. Okay. But millions ain't gonna make it to tomorrow. And I pray I do. I'm not guaranteed to wake up tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm not guaranteed to make it to 7:35. It's only by the grace of God and his divine providence that I'm even talking to y'all right now. They're literally, and I hate to be morbid like that, but that's how I look. That's how I take life. Literally, look around you. People are dying at an alarming rate. So I'm not saying New Year resolutions are pointless, because I love that we allow ourselves to have something to press towards. It's this concept of pressing towards the mark. So, but I'm like, yo, what didn't you do last year? What didn't you do the year before? What usually starts off as a New Year's resolution is probably something you should already be doing and you did not do. So it really just kind of gets carried over. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And I see y'all in the chat. I see y'all, those of you who has come in, you know what I'm saying? 504, I see you in the building. Jason, I see you in the building. LC, I see you in here. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you. I don't, people, when you start talking like that, people be like, oh, you one of them. No, I'm not. I'm normal. I want you to be normal. There is nothing new about it being 35 degrees outside. There is nothing new about snow. There is nothing new about dead leaves. There is nothing new about dead grass. There is nothing new about, and now you got a lot of animals that's confused right now because this weather is all over the place. There's nothing new about that. And like I said, people don't want to believe the Mayans, and then we subscribe to the Gregorian calendar and all these different, it's kind of like the debate that people have even with Christmas, because the calendar is so jacked up because Jesus was not born in December. And I'm not one of those people. I really could care less about that. I just celebrate the fact that he was born. I don't get into that. I'm like, he's the reason for the season. And I'm just going to celebrate that. Now, you want to get technical? Now I'm going to get technical about this year. I ain't going to get technical about that. That's a waste of time. Jims, I see you. December 21st. Yeah. I see y'all in here. And I appreciate y'all. Yeah, come on, grandma. She probably watching with Mom Dukes or whatever. But literally even being born like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So people don't put things in perspective. And so I say that because fragrance has helped reshape my perspective on a lot of things. It's helped affirm a lot of the ways that I think or whatever. But real quick, I want to tell you what my sin of the day is. And I posted this on my short. I posted this on the short. I came across this over the weekend. I was at one of my favorite places at the hair store. Shout out to everybody that's in the RDU area in North Carolina and period. I know South Carolina, I don't know who owns the brand itself or if they have like this franchisee thing going on, but Hair Depot, they're everywhere, especially around North Carolina. I don't know what the HQ is. I don't know what the umbrella is, the situation or whatever, but I know they're all individually ran and operated. So y'all know I hang out there from time to time, especially when I want to get my nose. This is one of the things we started preaching last year. I'm not trying to buy everything. So it was kind of hard at first to sample quote unquote clone fragrances, interpretations, as I'm going to, start calling them, Middle Eastern, budget cheapies or whatever without buying them. And when they were $20, $25, it was nothing. Now that the barrier to entry is like $50, $40, $50, yeah, ain't nobody got time to be wasting $40, $50 on something you may potentially not like. And then the resale value on them is not that high. So you end up typically probably just giving it away or giving it to your son or kid or whatever. But this came at a time I had literally just shout out to Mo, shout out to my boy, John, Create with Jonathan. And I said, I go through these phases probably 2 or 3 times a year. I'm bored. I was like, y'all, I think I'm hitting that wall again. And I don't think some of you understand. This is why I encourage everybody to create content, not because I think you're going to be good at it. No disrespect. I need you to feel what it is that we feel. Pause. Because as a content creator, when you're trying to balance between being a content creator and an enthusiast and a hobbyist and a collector, you're going to hit the wall. And we got 78 people watching, man. I need 50 likes. That means 30 of y'all is watching. 30 y'all not talking, you're not engaged in the chat, you just watch it. And I'm not mad at it, but do me a favor, hit that like button. That way we have 100 people watching. So I hit that wall. I'm like, I'm bored. Like, I'm like, Fragcom is whack. The fragrance industry is whack. It's whack. I'm bored because I'm doing so much behind the scenes, and I'm going to talk about that as well. But I saw this fragrance that I forgot was even coming out. Neeb talked about this a while ago, and I don't know if this is one of the joints at Beauty World, but Obsidian. First of all, y'all could never make me hate clone fragrances. Hold on. Let me take this lower third down real quick. You could never in your life do you see that bottle? You could never, ever make me hate. Never. It's one of the prettiest, dopest presentations ever. I hope they come out with a series of these. I want these in like different colors. I really hope they come out with a series of these. That is fire. Hands down, bar none. Best presentation. Hands down, bar none. And that's saying a lot. Because me being a musician, y'all know how much I feel. You know how I feel about that. But bar none, best presentation in a bottle. Hands down. That right there is fire. I don't care. Argue with your own dog. But I smelt it, and immediately I was like, I'm not bored anymore. If you saw my short then I think I mentioned it. You already know what I'm talking about. You get this beautiful, refined, and first, and this the box. It's the box that it comes in. All right. You get this beautiful, refined, and if some of y'all want to check it out, I'm gonna help you out. French Avenue Obsidian. I'm gonna post a link real quick. You get the most beautiful, refined grapefruit. This is what I remember French Avenue for. French Avenue started getting cute and getting fancy and doing a lot of things that were hit and miss. But the blend on this is fire. You get so much of this beautiful presence of that grapefruit. For those of you that are interested, I just dropped it in the chat from Joma Shop. If you want to check it out, if you're in the area, go to Hair Depot in Raleigh, where you can get your nose on that. The most beautiful refined grapefruit and aldehydes. So if you know, it's the Angel Share on the Rocks. I don't know if you remember, I did a video when Angel Share came out, On the Rocks came out around September. It was still summertime. It was warm outside because the weather was beautiful. And I remember doing a video, and Sephora, I went to go smell it. And I remember I did the video in the car. I did it in the car. That's how I remember it. Dope fragrance. I actually like, because I like Paradise. I wish it had more raspberry. Because you get to a point where all of the Angel Shares is like, okay, you're doing something different. But what I appreciated about On the Rocks is because it was so aldehydic. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, this is different, because you get Angel Share is very warm. But the one thing I liked about On the Rocks is this is something you can wear in the spring. This is something you can wear in the summer. Like this is if somebody was having a refreshing cognac, brandy, or something of that sort, this is perfect. A refreshing fragrance, borderline tea. It almost borderline comes off like a tea fragrance, not like a boozy fragrance. And so, and I attribute that to the way they did the grapefruit. And I love the way this smelled in the air. I love the way this smelled on skin, so much to the point when I smelled this, I did not even think Angel Share. Angel Share was not even the thing that came to mind. I remembered one of the boys had did a video about it, and I was like, yo, Obsidian, you got that right? Yeah, that's the On the Rocks joint. So I'm not saying it's worth, because I'm not trying to make people buy a lot of stuff. And let me help you with something, because people complain about this all the time. One of the stupidest comments, and I hate to say it like that, but one of the stupidest comments I see on the internet is, Walt, you say everything smells good. If I spent my money on it, yes. Everything I spend my money on, because I don't do a lot of blind buying. I sample, like I'm going to sample a lot of things. The only time you're going to see me come on this internet and say, I don't like something, and y'all know I have no problem doing that. I have said it about Argos. I have said it about Yam and Leo. Who else done sent me stuff? Y'all, I have no problem. People I'm in partnership with, people I have collaborations with. So if I'm gonna talk about, if I'm gonna put those things at risk, you know I have no problem being honest. If somebody send me something and I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you. Be like, this ain't for me. Now, there's a difference between something not being for you and then something being bad, because there are levels to this, and I kind of want to talk about this tonight as well. There are a lot of things that I personally don't like. I'm not the biggest fan of animalics. I'm not the biggest fan of very like deep leathers. I was not the biggest rose person. Rose really started to grow on me in 2025. Rose and leather really started to grow on me. I love wearable ouds. There are just certain things that I like. There are certain things that I'm like, a lot of deep, earthy, balsamic, super resinous things. That's for my boy Mo, the fragrance plug. Just like he don't care for gourmands, but he know that's my thing. But I know how to discern what I don't like versus what's not good. And I think a lot of us still haven't learned that yet, where we say, yo, that's trash. No, you don't like it. It's not your cup of tea. But what's trash to you could be treasure to somebody else. Now, there are levels of subjectivity when we get into things being overrated and all of that. That's not what I'm talking about, because there are levels to perfumery. But yeah, I really just wanted to talk about that, man. So if you get a chance, if you dare to, the link is right there. Again, I will post it again. If you dare to, check that out. That's in the chat for you. And I pinned it. I think I did. No, I didn't pin it. But yeah, this is beautiful, man. Grapefruit is one of those notes that you can do it right or you can do it wrong. It adds a lot of character to a fragrance. And I believe there's bergamot there as well. There's also this presence of, I feel like there's the slightest bit of ginger. Or I could be thinking about symphony, because I was doing a lot that day. But there's like, this is good. It still comes like this slightest bit of ginger. Now, in full transparency, the underdeveloped nose is gonna say this smells like a cleaner. They're gonna say it smells like a cleaner. I'm telling you, there are certain nuances when it comes to fragrance. If you're not used to smelling a thing, when you smell it, you're gonna be like, that smell like something I would clean my windows with. Well, no, because it don't smell nothing like Windex. But you know, citrus is kind of one of those things. And a lot of times we attribute it to that because of the sustainability effect that is in fragrances, especially this is a trend that we see where the market is really going after sustainable fragrances. So one of the reasons you see a lot of vanilla, you see a lot of balsamic accords, you see a lot of citrus heavy fragrances is because those lend to the sustainability factor and the organic factor as it relates to fragrance. I'm going to talk about that as well. But that is a trend you are really going to see heavily. So some of the things that we're complaining about, like, why do we keep seeing these notes? Why do we keep seeing vanilla? Why do we keep seeing heavy citrus? Because Gen Z, which is really pushing the needle right now, is really into sustainability. And these fragrance companies are really into sustainability. Well, to be in sustainability, you have to get repetitive. You're going to see a lot of the same things over and over again. So let me get back to the chat real quick, see what y'all popping with. Scent of the day, Michael Malloy, Amber Smoke, and Bob. Oh, that's a nice layer, bro. I got both of those. That's a nice layer. That's a nice layer. Just picked up Killian Angel Share Paradise and Benedier Fragrance 21. Yeah, Paradise is super nice. Paradise is super nice, but I think I do want a bottle of On the Rocks. Like I want a bottle of On the Rocks because this is good. Don't get me wrong. And that's another thing. What's good, Dan, not the man? A lot of people say crazy stuff like, yo, if you have the clone, why would you get the original? Because if I love the clone that much, what do you think the original smells like? Like, what do you think the original smells like? You know what I'm saying? The bitter orange. That's what it is. I appreciate that, Lefty. The bitter orange. Bro, like when I say this is so well blended, it's nice. It like French Avenue pulled an Afnan with this. And if you know what that means, that's what that means. There are different levels to notes for different person. Every nose and taste are different. Trust your own. Absolutely. 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 Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, with influencers, take what we say with a grain of salt. Jims and Jason said this all the time. Yo, you have a responsibility to get your nose on it. I see too many people complaining about fragrance influencers. No, just say you are easily influenced. You are impressionable. It's not the influencer's fault. The influencer is doing what an influencer does. Their role and their responsibility is literally in their title. Influence you. Why would you get mad at a waiter for serving you? You don't go to the restaurant and get mad at the waiter refilled your drink. You don't get mad at the waiter for saying, "Hey, what would you like to eat?" You know, what is your soup of the day? You don't get mad at that. So why y'all get mad at the influencer for? No, just admit I'm impressionable. I'm irrational in my thinking. I gotta have it. And I just need somebody to affirm that I gotta have it. Because you got FOMO. It's the fear of missing out. That's really the deal. That's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? That's the real deal. Vintage radio. Love it. Love it. Goated. Goated. Spectre Ghost. Goated. Appreciate it. Angel Share. Killian's Angel Share on the rocks. Yeah. Yeah. Killian's Angel Share. Yes, I would wear this in the summer. So if you didn't see the video, what I love is that you get the icy aldehydic nature. Like, I want you to imagine those of you who are drinkers. I want you to think about your favorite brandy or your favorite cognac, your favorite tea. It's a warm day. You feel the warmth. Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you. You feel the warmth. Like it's warm. Like you feel it. It's warm outside. And you pour that thing over ice. See, for me, it's ginger ale. Ginger ale is what does that for me. Okay? Ginger ale is what does that for me. Hold on, let me help you out with this. Because you feel the warmth. You feel like it's warm. It's like, bro, it's hot today. You know what I'm saying? It's been a warm day. Like, fam, I just need something to drink. I just need something to drink, fam. I just need something to drink. All right. Let me show you this right here. I just need something to drink, fam. That's all I need. This is what you need right here. That's what you need right there. I just need something to drink. You see that ice? Some of y'all gonna get thirsty looking at this. You see how refreshing that is? You see how refreshing that is? Just think it's a warm day and it's ice, man. And so that's the thing I love about it, because you get the aldehydic nature from it. And yeah. You get that aldehydic nature, fam, and it is icy, and you get the warmth from the day. So to me, the springtime and the summertime, it still works. It's not offensive. It's not boozy to the point where you're going to smell like you've been drinking. A lot of fragrances give off this booze effect where it's like, yo, are you drinking on the job? No, it almost comes off like a tea. It literally almost gives you the way the grapefruit is done and the citrus is there and the way that bitter orange and all of those things are in there. It almost comes off like a tea. So it is very refreshing. So if you work, this is one of those things where it's going to be very inviting because you can wear it in close quarters. All right. So if you are somebody, if you're a teacher, if you're a lawyer, like if you work in a setting where people get like, they don't want you wearing a lot of fragrances, This is one of those fragrances you can wear and you can get away with. It's not going to be loud. It's not going to be loud, but and it's not a skin scent either. So it's that great middle ground. The projection, the sillage, the bubble that you're going to get, phenomenal. I said it. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. And to that point, because you're talking, look, presentation. If you're a collector, presentation, beautiful, profile, stellar, performance, phenomenal, not beast mode, but for what it does, and this lasted on my skin for at least 8 hours, you work 8 to 9 hours. You don't need it any more than that. If you're going out with the guys, this is going to be great. If you want to wear this on a date and be a little bit subdued, I think you can get away. It's going to be something different. It's going to be a nice switch up from the typical lavender or the tonka bean or the vanilla or the oud that you probably wear. Because again, just like grapefruit is one of those fruits, we go back to fitness. Grapefruit has negative calories. All right. Grapefruit doesn't have any calories. Natural grapefruit has negative calories. So it's one of the few fruits you can eat. And it's like negative. Now, a lot of people don't like it because it's sour and it's bitter, but it cuts through. So this would be perfect for a date night, especially depending on where you're going on the date, because you're going to cut through a lot of those overwhelming fragrances, especially in a restaurant or something like that. You're not going to smell drunk. And then price, I think it's $40. It's $35. It's $35. So it's sub $40. So you're going to get a fragrance that could very well be a signature style scent that has niche style quality for sub $40. Is it better than the original? No. The original is the original, and that's not what I'm saying. But I like this more because the grapefruit is more prominent. I did not get this, and that's one of the things I recognized. That's why I didn't even recognize that this was Angel Share on the Rocks. That this was an interpretation of that because of the presence of that fruit up top in that citrus. It was so well done, so well blended. All right, now that's my take. Take that with a grain of salt, which is why I say if you get the opportunity, get your nose on it. But presentation, profile, performance, price, it hits all the 4 Ps. It hits all of the 4 Ps, man. So, and for those of you who want to be content creators, that's how you talk about a fragrance. I'm not saying I'm the GOAT, because there are people that I look up to. I don't. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about rules of engagement for 2026. Let's talk about rules of engagement for 2026. Because I've stopped watching a lot of content. That's how you talk about a fragrance. You have, and this is why I think it depends on the platform that you're on. But if I see one more person, I like when I say I'm unfollowing people, I'm unfollowing people. And it's no disrespect to you, the person. I just don't want to, I'm going to get pissed off and I'm going to get triggered because I hate hearing people degrade fragrances down to it smells sweet. There are 1,000 different ways something smells sweet. What does that mean? Oh, it smells fresh. What does that mean? Oh, it has a candied smell. What does that mean? It smells like chocolate. What kind of chocolate? Reese's chocolate? Snickers chocolate? Dove chocolate? Is it a truffle? Is it milk chocolate? Is it dark chocolate? Is it cocoa? Is it cacao? In the words of Thana, is it black chocolate? Give the viewer what they're paying for. They're paying with their time. Now, a lot of people just want to know how it smells and what it costs. That's the average consumer pre the trend, the phase that we're in. Moving into 2026, people are not stupid. Now, we got a lot of people who are easily impressionable, but people are not stupid. They know when they're being sold to. And you guys have heard me say this, and I will continue to say this. As a fragrance reviewer, do better. Do better. With no intention at all. I just sold the snot out of that fragrance. Now, whether you buy it or not, they ain't got nothing to do with that. They didn't pay me for that. I got that on my own. But if you're going to talk about a fragrance, that's how you talk about it. Walt, put me in the mindset. Who is this for? Where can I wear this? Where can I get away with this? What is the mood? What is the temperature? What is the setting? How is this going to make me feel? How is this potentially going to make the people around me feel? I can look up what it costs. I can look up where to get it from myself. I can look at what the notes are in it. But what does the grapefruit do? I see it says aldehydic. What does that even mean? Make it make sense. If you're going to do anything in 2026, make it make sense, man. If you want to grow, and growing may not mean you're going to get to 1 million followers or subscribers or whatever quickly. But we go back to this word about sustainability. We go back to what my grandmother says, start out like you can hold out. We go back to what I started off the stream. See, I don't just be talking out the side of my neck. Everything comes full circle. Everything makes sense. We connect the dots with everything. Start out like you can hold out. Sustainability, the long haul. We cooking brisket, low and slow. So lock in and build the foundation at the beginning of the year so it's easier for you to run your second, third, and your fourth leg. Now, I'm guilty of this to a degree, but everything can't be the best smelling thing you ever smelled in your life. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It don't even sound right. We tossing that around too loosely. Now, there are some things I'm like, yo, I personally have never smelled anything like this. But again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I'm talking about myself. But give the people what they want and give them what they paid for. And they're paying with their time. All right? They're paying with their time. So if you're going to take the time to watch me, this is why you saw a huge evolution in my content. This is why I started doing the 4 Ps. And I told you, I don't care if somebody can take it, other people can use it, because you can't steal that last P, which is me. You can't steal my personality. All right? So that's where I'm at with that. If you're going to talk about a fragrance, talk about the fragrance, man. Talk about the fragrance. All right, that's the first rule of engagement for 2026. Number 2, I want to show you something. Let's take a detour real quick. I want to show you something because I want to get into this. I want to react to something that I really, really, really agree with. All right, view. All right, I'm gonna mute the music real quick and I'm going to play this and hopefully it plays. My concern is, hold on. I know y'all can hear the music. Hold on. All right, bet that's muted. All right, you can still hear me. All right, y'all can see this. All right, so this is Teddy Hogan, who is the founder and creative director over at the House of Cosmo. I love Teddy's content. It's not too often where you can watch people have an opinion and also be able to back it up. See, it's a lot of people out here saying a whole lot of stuff and they don't have nothing to show for it. But this isn't, and they're not afraid. They don't hide. See, people hide behind stuff. They hide behind stuff. But I want to react to this. And a lot of you probably saw this video and I commented because this was firsthand. This was firsthand. And I need to turn off my notifications because y'all all in my business.
been so many crappy fragrance releases this year, then let me share an experience that I've had that kind of exposes why that's happening. So it all started when I first got involved in developing the fragrances for House of Cosmo. And at that time, there was one fragrance house that had agreed to work with us, and they sent their first fragrance trials to both me and Chris, who's our main founder. Now, those trials got to Chris first, and of course, he was super excited, tore the package open, and smelled them right away. But he ended up being really disappointed, and you probably won't guess why. He calls me up and says, "Teddy, I think they sent me a bunch of dupes." And sure enough, when I got the package and I tried them, every single one of them was a dupe. Now, what's even crazier is it wasn't like they had picked dupes that were kind of in line with the fragrances that we wanted them to create. It was clear they had just gone into their dupe library and pulled a bunch of like the greatest hits off the shelf.
He's not lying.
There was Spice Bomb in there, Oud Satin Mood. It was wild. And what's crazy is that this was a reputable fragrance house. Like, I knew they had done some duping in the past, but they did original works too. Then, to add insult to injury, they denied that they sent us dupes and then ultimately fired us as a client when we pushed back. Now, that sounds pretty bad, but in the context of what's happening in the fragrance industry, it actually kind of makes sense. Because the dirty secret is that there are so many new fragrance releases and brand launches that there's barely enough perfumers to go around. So a lot of fragrance brands, especially new ones, may not be getting the best creative work right now unless they really push back and know what they're doing. If you're wondering why there's been so many crappy fragrance releases this year, then let me share an experience that I've had that kind of exposes why that.
All right. Let's go. Because now, this is not to defend clones as it relates to, let me put it in perspective. This is not to defend Lattafa. This is not to defend French Avenue. This is not to defend Fragrance World, which is the parent company, French Avenue. This is not to defend Afnan, Rasasi. They don't need me to defend them, okay? But this is to make it make sense and to help you guys continue to think for yourselves. Because it is easy to call out the Lattafas of the world when everybody else is doing the same thing. Because nobody holds the perfumer and the fragrance house accountable. I have firsthand knowledge that this happens because I was working on a project. And I got some samples. Hold on, because some of y'all don't believe me. I can't show you what they are. But hold on real quick. Let me grab. Hold on. It's a lot more where this came from. Just know I was working on a project. Make sure I can't show nothing. Make sure I can't show nothing. These are samples. These are not decants. All right? These are samples. These are not decants. If you've ever got a sample from a brand or a house, it came in something like this. That's not a decant. That is a batch sample. So you don't see who it is. That's a batch sample. All right. That is a batch sample. So I'm telling you firsthand knowledge, firsthand. Like, this ain't no BS. I made this up. Because the thing is, a lot of us have subjective opinions. I keep telling y'all, I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not getting paid. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But if I'm telling you something, you can take it to the bank. So I have firsthand knowledge and experience working on a project. You get the samples in and you smell something, you be like, that's such and such. That's such and such. That's such and such. And you start to wonder, Wait a minute. Oh, see, it's one thing like you think you know, and then it's one thing to have industry insider information. It's another thing for you to get it delivered to your door. You be like, oh, this is what y'all doing for real, for real. So basically, let me give you an example. Walter comes to the table. Let's pretend this is my empty Yaman Leo bottle. So I come to the table and I reach out. I don't want to mention no names. I reach out to some popular fragrance houses and I give them a brief. I send them a brief. All right. See, because I don't care about the notes. Like the way I look at fragrances now is the same way I go to the theater and I watch movies. Like, as somebody who's been in the photography, videography, filmmaking, cinematography space, CGI, all of that stuff, those are the things I'm watching. Like when I watch content, I'm watching for more than just the content. I'm watching everything. And so please, like when I watch you guys' videos, when I get a chance to actually watch it, I watch through a different lens. So that's what I tell people. I want to start a fragrance. I come up with this brief. I send the brief to the fragrance house. The fragrance house, all right? The fragrance house can do several different things. They can assign me to a specific perfumer, or they can assign me to several perfumers or this perfume team. We're going to go over the brief. We're going to go over ultimately what it is I'm looking for. We're going to go over the notes and the accords. We're going to go over the concentrations. We're going to go over the quality. See, let me kill this little birdie that love talking about, well, Lattafa getting the oils from the same place that Roja is. They might be getting them from the same location, but somebody getting theirs from the back and somebody getting theirs from the front. It's not the same quality. We can buy 10 different brands from from Walmart. It don't mean they all the same one. So they're gonna ask me the quality. So do you want F grade? You want D grade, B grade? What kind of grade of this, what concentration do we want it to come in? We're gonna go over all of that. And then what they're going to do behind the scenes, this is what has been happening, is laziness. So the perfumer, like say for instance, I hate to even say this. Word on the street is that this was not actually perfumed by the person that did this. It was more of a let's use your name to promote the fragrance. Or what happened is he gets the credit, but somebody else kind of did the work. He just really kind of oversaw the process. You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. All right. They go in their archives and say, okay, let's look at what Walt wants. Do we already have something like that? Because here's what you don't realize. I'm sending them a brief based on this fragrance. But what happened is that they were working with another company on a fragrance, and there were several briefs that got approved for this fragrance, but they ended up not using it. The brief that they ended up not using actually fits what I want perfectly. So instead of them creating me something from scratch, guess what they do? They just go recycle a brief that they already own. Literally. I'm not telling you something made up. I'm not telling you something with my imagination. I'm telling you something where I'm sitting on a Zoom call with firsthand experience and be like, I'm smelling this and be like, is it just me or does this smell like this? Yeah, well, the reason that smells like that is because that was a brief for such and such and they didn't use it. So that's not what we asked for. That's not what we asked for. So again, influencers, be mad at influencers. Be mad at Latafa, be mad at F9, but be mad at everybody. Be mad at Boss, be mad at Prada, be mad at everybody. But if you're gonna get mad at two people in 2026, hold the perfumer accountable. And I would say hold the fragrance house accountable, but they're making so much money, it ain't no way to really, because they kind of control everything. There's no way to really kind of hold them accountable. But there are very, I hate to say this, because a lot of people have earned the master perfumer title. A lot of people have earned that, but that was 20 years ago. What have you done for me lately? And a lot of people are living off of that glory. All right. There are so many fragrances coming out when you smell them, you be like, but that smells like such and such. And then you go look, you be like, oh, it's the same perfumer. So who's cloning who? See, this is why this is a stupid conversation that I told you. We gotta kill. There's no need to continue to have this conversation, because until you understand, shout out to Jason, that Fragcom is a business, that this is a industry, and you understand everything that's going on behind the scenes. Matter of fact, you're gonna slow down on your buying. You go slow down on the amount of content you consume. I haven't bought anything other than that. You know, I ain't bought nothing. Why? Because now I don't trust you. I don't trust you. So now I have slowed down in what I'm spending my money on. I have become even more deliberate. Do you know how hard it is to do a fragrance review on something now and you're questioning? See, I look at this thing differently. Some of y'all, like, that's what I'm saying. Stay an enthusiast. Don't cross over here. Don't cross over here. It's difficult from an ethical and a moral standpoint sometimes to review a lot of these fragrances, because it's like, I know what I know. And I'm finding out what I'm finding out. And I'm like, dang, bruh. So this is why we got the problems going on. It's the perfumer. It's the fragrance house. And they're all doing it. They're doing it on the niche level. They're doing it on the design level. And they're doing it on the quote unquote clone level, even though everybody's cloning everybody. So it is a stupid argument to talk about clone culture at this point. It does not exist. It's all a lie. Clone culture is a lie. It is a lie. Hear me when I say this. Stop. Don't have this conversation no more in 2026. It's a lie. Go back to like what you like, love what you love, and buy what you buy, and care less. If you don't like the influencer that keep talking, stop following them. You can literally reset your algorithm. YouTube is automatic. Stop watching them. And they'll stop. I promise you, there are people that do not show up in my algorithm anymore once you unsubscribe. And now here's the crazy thing about YouTube. You don't have to be subscribed to somebody for them to show up in your algorithm. See, some of y'all be lying because you don't even have to follow people. There are certain channels I don't follow. I'm not subscribed to on my Fat Boy Finesse channel because I religiously watch their content at the same time at a certain day. It pops up. Now I'm subscribed on my other channel, but it pops up because I find myself not switching back and forth between channels. But stop it. Everybody's lying. It's a business. It's an industry. Rosa lying. They all, Creed, lying. Dior, lying. L'Oreal, lying. Latifah, lying. Chanel, lying. Everybody's lying. Valentino, Prada, Boss, name somebody else. Calvin Klein, Tom Ford, Armani, Versace, Coat. They're lying. Everybody is lying. It's all a lie. So mind your business and buy what you want to buy. Don't entertain the conversation. Stay out the conversation. Oh, that's a clone. I can't wear that. Okay, cool. Do you, dog? Do you, dog? Do you? That's not giving a pass. That's saying we speak about things that we don't understand. It's an industry. It's a business. It's a farce. It is not just fragrance. It is fashion. It's the sneaker community. It's the cosmetic community. It's the tech community. It's every single, because we're not sitting at these tables. I thank God that I've been put in some of the positions that I've been put in, because when you get a seat at some of these tables, you be like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. So now you understand how to play the game. If you want to be successful, if you want to be successful, if you want to be sustainable, you understand how to play the game. I appreciate that super chat. Pair character stretching his arm for. I appreciate that super chat. Bro, it's crazy. Now let me go to the chat real quick. Let me go. I'm not lying to y'all. I own everything. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. BJ Bailey, perfumers are creators. I definitely think perfumers would like to be original, but companies are interested in what sells. That's a lie, BJ. That's a lie. That's a lie. Not for commercial. For indie perfumers, absolutely. Not for the big brands. That's a lie. 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 I used to think that. I have found out that is not true. It may be true on some levels, but that is not true. That is not true. That is not true. Clones give me the DNA of fragrances that are available in my area. So once I respect. Influencers flown out to Egypt like Side Chicks by Rayon. But here's the thing. I don't care. You think if somebody reach out to me, I'm not going to Egypt? Y'all foolish. You crazy. You going too. because the reality of it is, let me help you with something. All of the influencers don't get flown out. See, some of y'all got to realize everybody that you saw at Beauty World didn't get flown out to Beauty World. These are sales trips. These are people who have met certain goals and they've pushed the envelope certain. Everybody don't get invited. Everybody don't get invited. So I will never judge another man and be like, man, they getting flown out. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna be on that plane next. Yeah, I want to go. First of all, why do I want to spend my own money to go somewhere? Bro, y'all have got to open up your mind. It's called influence. It's called marketing. It happens in every single industry. You're watching me right now. You watch YouTube every day. You're on IG, you're on TikTok, you watch cable, whatever. It's called ads. It's called advertisements. It happens. It happens in you work for a company that does what Rayhan did. And if you own your own company, don't you market you advertise, you market your company, right? Because you want to make sales. So Latifah, that's it. Let me say it like this, JC. Latafa is not using, they are buying the oils from the same place. They're just not buying the same grade. Okay? Because I can go to the fragrance house and I can say, okay, I want the same quality that Roja has. I want the same quality that Creed has. Or I want the same quality that Mancera has. Give me the same quality that Dior has. That's basically how, you know. Well, what quality of oil do you want? Cause you want the highest? Cause the higher the quality, the more expensive it is. But you would lose your mind if I told you how much Latafa costs on a distro level. See, I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much. I got to shut up. Y'all, not just Latafa, because I mean everybody. If you knew how much fragrance costs once it leaves the manufacturer, you'd stop buying it. Because you'd realize it's a business. It's all a lie. Now, I'm gonna keep buying it. I hate to say it, that sounds crazy. What, you gonna keep buying a lie? Yeah. I'm just saying the business aspect of it. That's why I say don't get emotional about it. Don't get caught up in this thing. We don't have a dog in this fight. Yeah, got to get away from those everyday brands, real perfume houses to steal their own materials. You'll never, right. And here's the reality of it, to all worlds point. You're going, see, y'all got to understand this. When you start getting into the artisanal houses like this that really are distilling their own materials, you're going to pay more. You're going to pay more because there's less supply. There's less supply. So the price is going to be more. So you can't complain about wanting originality, but then you don't want to pay the money. All right. KB, what's good with you? All right, bet. All right. All right, let me get to the bottom of the chat. Make do with what you have and don't add to, and those trips will cease. As long as we keep facts, bro. It's impulse, man. Impulse. Bruh, real talk. Every house out there has a version of a Ventus or BR540 of some, definitely a Ventus. Everybody, every. Simone would have been right there. Right there. Right there, right there. Right there, right there, right there. Sign me up. You want to fly me where? To Egypt? Can I go see Moses? Moses. Can I go see Moses? Can I go stand at the Red Sea? Sign me up. I am the Prince of Egypt. One of my favorite movies. Sign me up. Give me Arabian Nights. Please. Where is Aladdin? Where is Jasmine at? Where is Jafar? What time we leaving? Take me through there. Take me through there. So again, I want you, this is why this is the bridge. It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. And it's got to make sense. So the reason I tell you guys to be more disciplined and intentional with your buying, because I want you to be more informed. So I told you my position is I don't have a dog in the fight. So I can tell you the truth. I'm not swayed. You got one thing I think y'all got to know by now is that you can trust me. Now I got my own opinion on things, but I'm pretty neutral on a lot of things. You saw what if Cara probably isn't even watching, but she's one of the people that commented on my last Argos video. And she said, yeah, this is probably gonna be your last Argos fragrance. And I said, so be it. I'm gonna tell, I don't care about you sending me something. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna be like, you know, they wasted 2 fragrances. Like, this smells like this. Like, it's getting redundant. Like, can we do something different? Because that you want the truth. Now, some people just gonna buy what they want to buy regardless. But that is my biggest rule of engagement for 2026. All right. Now let's watch another video. Shout out to my guy Gerard George. I love his content, man. If you're not subscribed to his channel, you need to subscribe to his channel. But let's get back over here, because this is another video that I want you guys to watch. And yeah, let's watch this. Oh, I was sharing. Okay, I was like, what is going on? All right, let's play this.
Every year, the fragrance industry tells you what's next. Specifically, fragrance trends that I think are going to go away in 2026. So let's get into the list.
Can y'all hear?
For me, elixirs aren't dying. The word is. Every brand now has an elixir, extrait, or parfum intense that smells 80.
Elixir. Oh my God. This has ticked me off so much. I literally do this on Instagram. There are people perpetrating elixir as a concentration. Like, I'll see videos and they'll be like, they'll start listing all the concentrations and then they'll say elixir. And I'm like, elixir is not a concentration. And then they'll say, I know. I'll be like, so why did you put it in the video?
80% identical to the original with a louder dry down and a darker bottle. I think consumers are realizing something really important, which is higher concentrations aren't necessarily better fragrances.
Thank you, Gerard, for saying it. Higher concentrations does not make the fragrance better. We have gotten to a point. One of my favorite movies is Day After Tomorrow, and he says we have hit a critical desalinization point. This is where we are in the industry. Some of y'all are so consumed with performance that you have forgotten about the perfumery. Like, all you're looking for is performance, 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 performance. Like, performance, performance. Like, lay off the road in the Blue Chew, fam. Calm down. Like, calm down. Calm down. Y'all have gotten hype off doggone Viagra and Cialis and them gas station Rhino pills and Blue Chews and Rose Sparks that Gil be selling on his channel. Y'all gotta calm down. Performance, 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 performance. Is it beast mode? How long does it last? If the fragrance was, because what happens is you'll say it doesn't perform. No, it was not designed to do what you're addicted to. It's like you're addicted to porn. Uh-oh. Now, I might offend somebody with that. You're addicted to something that's not real. We're talking about perfumery. Now, if all you want is beast mode fragrances, then you need to go specifically look up what are the strongest, longest lasting fragrances out there. Just go wear red tobacco intense every day and you'll be fine. But stop it. Just because it's loud don't mean it's good. Just because it sits close to the skin doesn't mean it's bad. It was designed to do that. Ooh, gracious.
Brands have gotten greedy with that label. Elixir,
say it again, Gerard.
In 2026, that stops being a selling point, and unless the fragrance delivers real depth, balance, and wearability, we don't want it.
This the one right here.
Influences as we know them aren't necessarily going away, but credibility is going to be everything.
What did we just talk about? Credibility. Credibility. I don't, it's one thing for me to say, I don't want you to listen to me, but I want you to listen to me. I want you to watch my content. But I hope that I have built the level of rapport and trust with you and credibility where you trust what I say, that I'm not just trying to sell you on something. Just like this fragrance here. I'm not trying to sell you on this. I'm telling you my experience with this. And if you know me and you trust me, I'm not 10 for 10. I'm not 100%. I have not gotten everything right. Some of y'all have told me, be like, yeah, well, I don't know about that one. But I've been right more often than I've been wrong. All right.
Cycle has become predictable to the average consumer. Launch, free bottles, universal praise, silence.
We love to see it, right? We love to see it. If new fragrance gets launched, everybody gets it. After that, nobody talks about it. Nobody comes back to the fragrance. Nobody says, oh, I'm still wearing this. It just ends up being a bottle that sits in the collection. That's it.
Viewers,
which is why I respect a gent sense. Because people get upset and they be like, why do you keep talking about the same fragrances over and over and over again? Why not? If a fragrance is that good, don't you want to hear me rave about it all the time? You're going to start to look at one thing you're going to do after watching my content is I'm going to make you think. Now, some of y'all be like, I came here for fragrance content. This is fragrance content. I'm going to make you a better buyer and a better decision maker in 20. We're going to save some money. Cause Fragcom is a business. This is an industry. This is what it's all about. I want you to save some money. I want you at the end of 2026 to say, man, I took that $10,000 I was going to spend on fragrances and I put it somewhere else. Because some of y'all need to go look at your credit card receipts and your Afterpays and your Sezzles and your Klarnas and your Zips and your buy-in fours. It ain't worth it. Don't get caught up out here.
And consumers of content are learning to wait. If a fragrance still isn't being worn, mentioned, or defended 60 days later, it's dead on arrival. In 2026, instant hype won't convert. Only fragrances that survive time, rotation, and repetition will.
Agreed. This is another one. EQ talked about this, the difference between a collection and a wardrobe. All right. This is one of the trends that you see. Like, just like people need to wear your sneakers, wear your fragrances. I don't need a collection. We need to be more intentional with what it is that we're buying.
Big collections in videos, you know, the racks of fragrances behind the reviewer, that used to signal experience to a lot of viewers.
That signals craziness.
Now, they signal indecision. And that's not to sound harsh. I have a bunch of bottles and I don't like everything and I don't wear everything. And I have to really stand back and say, are these just taking up room on my shelf? Am I wasting time and money and space here? The shift is already happening. Curated wardrobes, purpose-driven rotations.
That lifestyle.
Fewer bottles, stronger identity. In 2026.
Fewer bottles, stronger identity. So you've heard me say this where I fall in love with DNAs. There are DNAs that I love. And I will buy, it ain't a lot of them, but I will buy every single interpretation out there because I love I want to see how many different times the DNA can be represented. But aside from that, Walt, did you get this? I don't, because I'm not going to wear it. There are certain things I'm going to buy because that's me. Like, I'm a gourmand lover. So you're going to see me with you can be like, dang, you talking about another gourmand? Yes, I love gourmands. I love them. Like, I adore them. It's part of my makeup. It's Fat Boy finesse. Like, at the core identity of who Fat Boy is gourmand fragrances. So now you have an appreciation to when you watch my content. You don't get turned off by something. You be like, that's Walt. If I say I love this, you can be like, yeah, that's Walt. Like, again, that goes back to what I was saying about Mo earlier. About D4, that man will forever be D4G. But the fragrance plug, Maurice. I know Mo, and I'd be like, that's Mo, and Mo know me, be like, that's Walt. Like, I can identify this person by the fragrance that they wear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The flex is not how many bottles you have, but how intentional you are with your choices.
Here's a big one.
I did a whole video on this before, and clones have absolutely saturated the market. And I don't think clones necessarily are going to die in 2026, but lazy clones, yes, those are going away.
Agreed.
10 brands copying the same amber woody DNA with generic identical dry downs.
So remember, we talked about this. The saturation is crazy because this is why I tell y'all, fall in love with a house. Stop asking me, have you tried this? Are you going to try this? Well, which one? If you want Clone Wars, go follow Neeb. If you want to know what the best version of something is, follow. I don't even know if Neeb still does Clone Wars like that, but follow Neeb. That's really his claim to fame. Like, that's what Neeb blew up for. You don't spend all that money. You let somebody else do it. Or at this point, some of them aren't spending money. They're getting the fragrances for free. Let them do that. Because Lattafa is going to have a version. Armaf is going to have a version. Afnan is going to have a version. Fragrance World, French Avenue, Rayhan, Rasasi. All of these houses are Hodlodge. All of these houses are going to have their own version. Paris Corner. They're going to have their own version. In the same way that all of the designer houses, all of the niche houses are going to clone in a similar way as it relates to the Accords. So you may see a run on Fig, or you may see a run on Plum. You may see a run on Raspberry was a real big one. You may see a run on Marshmallow. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. This whole clone idea, everybody's copying each other. Like everybody, like that typical fougere designer style fragrance, like that myself style of DNA, that myself or that reflection or that Gucci guilty DNA. How many times did we see that in 2025? So it's not just the fact that you got 20 different versions of imagination. It's the even idea behind the perfume in itself. So find you a house. If you like Lattafa, stick with Lattafa. If you like French Avenue, stick with French Avenue. If you like Rayhan, if you like Yeoman Leia, if you like Alexandria, stick with that house and ride with them. That way you don't get caught up in the conundrum. But what happens is you want to go back to the previous point. You want to say you have a big collection so you can be in the chat and look well versed. And I bought this and I got that and I got that. Yeah, man, you know, I got 10 clones of imagination. For what? You could have bought 3 bottles of imagination at that point. 4. Like, why? What's the point? Like, honest to God, like, what is the point? Help me make it make sense. Find you in 2026. Find you a house and stick to them. It's simple as that. Find you a house and stick to them. Stick to them. Everything is not going to be right. Everything is not going to be perfect. But find you a house that you can be consistent with and stick to.
That's just unsustainable. Consumers are now really
There go that word again, sustainability.
catching up to redundancy, and something I've always prized my collection on is being avoidant of redundancy. It's something that for me is a total waste. Why would you want multiple versions of the same smelling scent? They are not different enough from one another to warrant having all those bottles, at least in my opinion. But it's not just my opinion. A lot of people feel the same way as I do. And just people are becoming more cognizant of how they're spending their money and
Agreed.
where their dollars are going.
Agreed.
They're researching more. They're going to trusted sources. I hope I'm
Agreed.
only clones that outperform, outlast, or meaningfully improve upon the original will survive in 2026.
This was another big one. This video,
Flankers used to be
it was
cool.
phenomenal.
They expanded on the story that the creator was trying to tell. These days, they just dilute it. All too often now, when a house releases a flankers or something, it's the same DNA. Maybe
Same.
it has a different gradient on the bottle.
bruh. I'm glad these were the 2 examples that he used, because Azzaro and Armani have the most confusing, whether it's the Aqua di Gio or you have The Stronger With You line, even though they do smell different. The Stronger With Yous do smell different. The Aqua de Joes, they don't smell like, the one that smells the most different from the OG is the Elixir. The rest of them are a waste of time. I don't even understand why we got all these in-betweens. And then Azaro, these actually do smell different. Like Wanted by Night smells its own. And then the Most Wanted Parfum. The Most Wanted, but it's not enough to justify. Let me say it like that. Aqua de Jo, they definitely are guilty on this. They need to be on fragrance court with kicks. Azaro, they borderline. They guilty by association. Like they get caught up in the RICO with this one as well. Because it's not enough. Now, I can tell the difference between those. The Aqua de Jo, there ain't no difference. I don't care what nobody say. Ain't no difference. The Azaros, there is enough of a difference, but the naming conventions are so, both of these are so confused, and it's just like, what the heck is going on?
Separating itself from the previous release. Not even that is that good. I mean, there's a lot of these bottles that look exactly the same as well. The marketing might get a little louder for a month or two, and then it becomes a forgettable release. I have to imagine retailers are tired of the shelf bloat. Consumers can't keep track. I know I can't. And the brand itself starts to lose identity. All
right. Now, as far as him talking about retailers having shelf bloat, I need somebody who works, because I have confirmed this for like, well, yeah. So one of y'all in the chat, does anybody in the chat work for like a retailer that sells fragrances like Macy's, Nordstrom's, Ulta, Belk? Because what I know, well, see, the bloat is not, I'm appreciative of the bloat if you got a plug. If you got a plug, you can really appreciate the retailers not selling, because they don't send all those fragrances back. All those fragrances don't get sent back. All of those fragrances don't get what we call surplused. All right. They don't all get surplus. They don't all end up, you know what I'm saying, at Burlington and TJ Maxx and all those different types of places. They don't all end up going back to a distributor. Distributors, distros, they do rebuy some stock if they are able to kind of, you know, but a lot of times retailers take a lot of this stuff as a loss. And guess who gets benefited? Guess who gets benefited? All right. So let me let me look at the chat real quick. Does anybody work at a retailer? Simone, I'm asking. I need to know. I need to know. Because the plug, thank God for the plugs, yo. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
The brands are well aware of this. They are starting to take notice, which is why I think in 2026, brands will start reinvesting some of their profits into their flagships and creating entirely new fragrances and lines altogether. In a situation like that, we both win. The brands and people who really are passionate about fragrance and fans of that particular brand.
All right, I'm not gonna go through the rest of this because it's 8:50. When y'all get a chance, go watch that video. Gerard is one of the most solid out there, man. He is one of the most solid out there. So when you get a chance, go watch the rest of that video, because it is a dope video, dope content. All right, a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about, man. Sustainability. The market did over 50 billion, somewhere between 50 and 60 billion in 2025, and is set to increase, you know, big time in 2026. We're looking at almost $80+ billion in the market over the next 6 years. All right. All right. And so we're talking about, in US numbers, we're talking about over $60 billion industry in 2026, with the US being responsible as far as generating like $9 billion of that. So fragrance is only going to increase. It's a huge revenue thing. It's becoming increasingly popular. You know what I'm saying? But some of the trends that we see, I keep talking about the sustainability. So a lot of the fragrance, you're going to see women are dominating this space. You are going to see fragrance start to adopt, because the cosmetic space is dominating the fragrance space by so much, it's not even funny. They're running circles. They're lapping the fragrance industry 10 times over. Because here's the thing about cosmetics. You got to re-up monthly, at least. The design is that you got to come see me again within 30 to 60 days. Here's the problem with fragrance. This is one of the reasons, I hate to beat a dead horse, but this is why you're going to see a run on discovery sets. And if you already know, you know. This is why with Thana, it makes more sense from a business standpoint to give you 7 fragrances with 20 mils. And then if you like all of them, you like all of them. But then if there's one you fall in love with, then you fall in love with that one. So you're definitely going to see a lot more discovery sets. You're going to see larger discovery sets. You're not going to just see the 2 mil, 3 mil samples. I think you're going to start to see more of a realistic 10 mil discovery presentation. If you're a brand and you're smart, that's what you should do. If you're an indie brand and you can afford it, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what you should do, because Gen Z is really pushing this sustainability thing, man. They are pushing this personalized individuality, this sustainable products. They care about their skin. They care about their self-care. They care about the environment. You know what I'm saying? They care about the packaging. They care about you're going to see aromatherapy just boom, continue. Everybody is like that's why I tell you, when you smell good, you feel good. There is a connection between fragrance and aromatherapy and your mental health. We don't just be saying that for the sake of it, but everything is rising. Functional fragrances, therapy style fragrances, luxury fragrances. I think 10 to 12% it increased. So people are spending money on niche and more expensive fragrances. But because women are dominating the space, what you're going to see is lighter concentrations. So pay attention to a lot of the brands that you see popping up in Sephora, especially for females. Nest, Fleur, Free Yourself. There's a lot of these, like, for lack of a better term, you see this hippie run on fragrances. Layering, especially Fleur and like Nest, Fugazi. You're going layering. Layering is a big thing, because it's not about so much having a signature scent, but now it's about how do I create something that's specific to my own identity. And now I'm creating, to EQ's point, this fragrance wardrobe. So I don't have a collection, but the fragrances that I have are carefully curated to who I am. So as a content creator, you need to start positioning yourself as a connoisseur, as a concierge. If you're smart, you will start to position yourself as a concierge and give people a tailored experience. So do more live streams with Q&As. You're going to see this from me as well, because people have questions. One of the things I notice is that when I go live, like when I'm in the car, when I'm on a break or something like that, and I have a lot of things changing. When I say I have a lot of things changing, I have a lot of things changing very rapidly. So you guys are going to start to see me, especially in Q2. You're going to see my content change drastically, because I have to give you the content, but I'm not going to be able to give you the content from my computer. We're going to be outside a whole lot. And for a lot of different reasons, but there's a lot of Q&A there. Be prepared to give a tailored response based on your experience. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta make something up, but give a tailored response. So you need to, like, if anybody should be educated on fragrance, you should be educated on fragrance. All right. That's why you need to start sampling. You don't need to be afraid of niche. Don't overlook designer and don't overlook clones. As a content creator, get in where you fit in. But I keep telling you guys, being a creator is an act of service. And even though I want this to be a Michelin star steakhouse, I understand that you might have to come to this restaurant with your kid. So I might not have chicken tenders on the menu, but if you ask me, hey man, y'all got some chicken tenders or something? Oh yeah, we got them. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. Be positioned and be prepared to help everybody. You may not be for everybody. It doesn't mean that you still can't help everybody. All right. I'm gonna look at the chat one last time before we get out of here. Doo-doo burn. Okay. Agreed. And shout out to you, JJ from Puerto Rico, man. Appreciate you watching. Yeah, and because we used to layer, one of my most popular videos now is the layering video I did for Boxing Day for Canada. But what you're seeing is these companies now, especially on the female side, everything is unisex, bro, and everything is leaning feminine because it's easier to layer that. It's hard to layer leathers. It's hard to layer ouds and all those different types of things. It's easy to layer gourmands and fruits and citrus and all of that and florals. So pay attention to that. Okay. Here you go. So this is the question I asked. Baseless said, I was a store manager at Kohl's and we had a Sephora and I had to mark everything down. I eventually bought most of the fragrances, or my employees did, at a high markdown. We closed our Sephora. I was able to mark. Thank you. So y'all know I'm not lying. Thank you. Don't disrespect them. Don't build relationships with people just on the sake of you wanting to use them, because every relationship has to be it has to be equally beneficial to both people. But if you are lucky enough to have somebody in your life, take advantage of it. And this is going to be a continued trend. Retail is tough right now. So when they mark this stuff down, yeah, I know y'all marking it down out here. I need to mark down in the back. Yeah, I need to mark down in the back. All right. Hey, for sure. Kicks, what's good, my guy? For a little while. I missed the live. I didn't go live last week, but I took last week off, so I ain't posting no video in a minute. But hey man, who's live? Is Jim's live? I don't know if anybody's live after me. I know Mo was live before me. I don't know if anybody's going live after me tonight, but your boy is out of here. Yo, we had a great show, man. I appreciate y'all. Like when I say I appreciate y'all, man. So y'all do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Happy New Year, my guy. Hey, bro, listen to me when I tell you, I know this firsthand. Early in my fragrance journey, I know this firsthand. I got to reconnect with some folk to be like, hey man, holla at me. All right. I appreciate y'all. As Joel said, take care and smell good. Joel, I'm going to have to steal that. I'm gonna give you credit for it. Take care and smell good. Absolutely, D-Way. I appreciate it. How long should I macerate my new Yom and Leo? Put it in the fridge or the freezer, bro. when you trying to wear it? That's the question. When you trying to wear it? When you trying to wear it? Spray it. Hey, when you get it, you got it. Spray it. Go ahead. I spray it about 10 times. Let so you can let that oxygen get in the bottle. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. And then put it in the refrigerator. Now that sounds crazy. That's a poor man's perfumer's trick. Put it in the refrigerator. People are like, why would you do that? I'm like, y'all put alcohol in the freezer, don't you? Put it in the refrigerator. Or just put it in a dark, cool place. But if you want to speed it up, put it in the refrigerator. Y'all remember when we used to put batteries in the refrigerator? Like when Energizer and Duracell used to have the batteries back in the day that would show you the meter, the battery life on it. All right, Gotham Knights. Yeah, it's that time of the year. Honestly, bro. Now my Gotham Knights, I've had literally for a whole year now, or a whole year and a half or whatever. I think it's been a year. Like my dual joint is empty, so I've been wearing that. That joint is crazy. See? Base, I appreciate you, fam. I appreciate you, man. Cause he been bailing your boy out tonight. I appreciate you. But yeah, put that joint in the fridge, bro. That sound crazy. Put that joint in the fridge. Put that joint in the fridge. Lachey, come on now. Lachey, I'm trying to, we want to be like you when we grow up. We want to be oiled up and lavish and luxurious. Yo, exactly. We want to be oiled up and lavish in 2026. So we can run around the house and my baby girl. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. I will see y'all later this week. Keep a lookout on the channel. And y'all be easy. Stay safe. I love y'all, man. I'm out. I am out of here.